folks, the Trump effect is happening in real time. We're not going to wait till January 20th to get started on the immigration process or any of the things we need to do as far as investigations. They're already getting things going in full swing. We've already secured some property here in Texas for the deportations. Tom Homan was in Texas today with Governor Abbott. Went down there to talk to the Border Patrol and the ICE agents, tell them how we fix and change things. And he even laid out a threat to any sanctuary city mayor or governor that thinks they are going to get their way by trying to block any kind of action to detain these illegals and deport them. We got all kinds of news going on today, including the fact that there is uh, several threats that Trump has thrown out there to Canada, to Mexico, and to China involving the fentanyl and the open borders and illegal immigration. And already, even though he's not president yet, already uh, Canada, Trudeau has called Trump, said, whatever you want, sir. President of Mexico, newly elected, I forget her name, but she said she's going to stop the caravan and close her end of the border, where I understand it. And China, I haven't heard from them yet, but it is definitely going to be at least a 10% tax on China, 25% tax on the other two countries if they don't get in line and do the right thing. Trump is coming at them hard with some serious tariffs. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. And I've got several other things I wanted to bring to y'all today, folks. So stick around. It's definitely going to be interesting and informative. And if you wait closer to the end, I've got a special surprise involving Walmart you probably didn't know about. All right, folks, here we go. This is the great Tom Homan with Governor Abbott.
Look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute, it's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III, and what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives. And I find it shocking that any mayor of a city would say, President Trump's been clear. We want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any mayor or governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. I don't know what the hell is going on in Denver, but we're going to go and we're going to fix it. But look, me and the Denver.
He said if we'll go around them if need be or go through them, whatever need be. We'll lock their ass up and make an example out of them. Yes, folks, it has been an eventful day. A lot of good stuff happening today. We'll get into it back to back to back here. Just bear with me with the spooling. Now, Trump made a statement today. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, we got some surprising news about peace in the Middle East. It says, holy shit, President Trump has been calling for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine for a while. He knows Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't care about getting us involved in World War III. Please pray for peace. Trump is in process of negotiating a Ukraine Putin ceasefire. I'm sure behind the scenes, and he is actively trying to get a ceasefire done with Netanyahu and I guess Lebanon, Hezbollah right now. And it looks like this is actually starting to make some headway. He discussed this a few days back, and we're already starting to get some resolution. Check it out, folks. Let's scroll down just a little bit. Lots of good information today. All right, here we go.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us. It's the abolition of our national borders. It's the failure to police our own cities. It's the destruction of the rule of law from within. It's the collapse of the nuclear family and fertility rates like nobody can believe is happening. It's the Marxists who would have us become a godless nation worshiping at the altar of race and gender and environment. And it's the globalist class that has made us totally dependent on China and other foreign countries that basically hate us. These globalists want to squander all of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas while keeping us distracted from the havoc they're creating right here at home. These forces are doing more damage to America than Russia and China could ever have dreamed. Evicting the sick and corrupt establishment is the monumental task for the next president. And I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done. I know exactly what has to be done. We have never.
And on that note, look at here, folks. Ceasefire reached between Israel and Hezbollah. Israel has taken out all of Hezbollah's leaders with the pager and the phone incident blowing up. Happened about a month or so ago. Literally, they've been assassinated one way or another. It looks like 5, 10, 15, looks like about 18 Hezbollah leaders have been bit to dust. I wouldn't want that job. But due to that, due to the fact that Trump's back in office and he will back Israel and he won't be like Joe Biden fickle on standing up with Israel and Netanyahu, he will help Israel destroy these terrorist organizations. All Netanyahu has to do is say the word. And these terrorist organizations know this. And so now they're ready to broker for peace. They know the funds are fixing to run out from the Biden administration. They won't be sending any more cash money to Iran uh, for whatever project they want to do over there that involves basically giving money to terrorists so they can fund more terrorist activity against our friends, Israel. It's a effed up situation, but that's just the way it really works. But according to the official report, Netanyahu's, Netanyahu's office indicated that the prime minister had convened the country's security cabinet to discuss the proposal um, between Israel and Lebanon to start a ceasefire. And, and hopefully, we will be able to see about the hostage situation. There was actually nothing in this about the hostage situation, but the hostages are, I think, are with the Hamas, not the Hezbollah. But just that quick, we're looking at possibly getting a ceasefire. Trump has been speaking to a lot of these world leaders in the last several days, and they know the Trump effect is happening. The new boss is in town. It says a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah is set to be announced today per CBS. This is the Trump effect. Trump's not even in the White House yet, and he's already creating peace in the Middle East. Now, this here is the actual report of Trump um, threatening these world powers, Canada, Mexico, and China. Trump vows new Canada, Mexico, China tariffs that threaten global trade. I got a video here for you. Now, this is a left wing station, so just bear with me on this.
Trump on Monday pledged U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on Monday pledged a 25% tariff on all products from Mexico and Canada from his first day in office. Trump said on social media the tariffs would remain in place until the two countries clamp down on drugs, particularly fentanyl, and migrants crossing the border illegally. The threatened new tariff would appear to violate the terms of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement on Trade, which took effect in 2020 after Trump signed it into law. That deal continued the largely duty-free trade between the three countries. The president-elect also accused China of not taking strong enough action to stop the flow of illicit drugs crossing the border into the U.S. from Mexico. He said his government would impose an additional 10% tariff on goods from the country as a result. Trump has previously pledged to end China's most favored nation trading status and slap tariffs on Chinese imports in excess of 60%, much higher than those imposed during his first term. In response, the Chinese embassy in Washington said, quote, "No one will win a trade war or a tariff war." Mexico described the current trade deal as a, quote, "framework for certainty for investors," and there was no immediate comment from Canada. Economists say that Trump's overall tariff plans would push U.S. import duty rates back up to 1930s era levels, stoke inflation, collapse U.S.-China trade, draw retaliation, and drastically reorder supply chains. They say tariffs are paid by the companies that import the products subject to the duties, and they either pass on the cost to consumers or accept lower profits.
Well, now you get the left wing spin on what's really going on, but the truth of the matter, what's going on is Trump is threatening these leaders. If you don't mind, if you don't do what I say, you're going to pay consequences by actually having to pay taxes on imports and exports. Or should I say imports to here? I think it's a good deal. A lot of stuff going on today, folks. It has been a mover and shaker kind of day. Here's the actual the letter. As everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico, composed of thousands of people, seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our currently open border. On January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the U.S. and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such times as drugs, and in particular fentanyl, and illegal aliens stop the invasion of our country. Both Mexico and Canada have absolute right and power to easily solve long simmering problems. We hereby demand that they use this power. Until such time they do that, they will have to pay a very, very big price. I ain't mad at you, Trump. That's the way you do it. Yep, things are happening, folks. They're getting in line to deport people. These countries are starting to get in line with the fact that the new boss is in town, and now he's putting rules and stipulations on them. I thought this guy had a great video. He's a lawyer. I just thought this was probably best video of the day. Here we go, folks.
Yesterday, President-elect Trump announced that he would implement a 25% tariff on all products from Mexico and Canada unless they stop the flow of illegal aliens, crime, and drugs, especially fentanyl, into the United States. I predicted in a video yesterday that Trump's move would likely produce the desired effect, and many of you scoffed at the suggestion. Well, within 12 hours of Trump's announcement, Mexico and Canada appear to have capitulated to Trump's demands in order to avoid the tariffs. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum vowed to halt the latest huge caravan of illegal aliens headed toward the southern border and work with Trump to fight the fentanyl epidemic. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau took a break from dancing to Taylor Swift music to call Trump and discuss enhanced border security. I'm Joseph Bovino, America First immigration and business attorney based in Miami and serving clients worldwide. Follow for more. Yesterday, President-elect Trump announced that he would implement a
It didn't take long. Trump Started talking this crap yesterday, and by this morning, we got results. I love it. I love it. Everybody better get in line. Trump ain't playing, and Trump's putting the right kind of team in. He's putting Tom Homan in to have no mercy and deport the crap out of these people. We don't need these people coming in here from 154 countries. Nobody ever asked for that. Here's another great video clip I found today. I just thought I'd share with y'all. This is a Trump effect in full effect.
At this pace, Donald Trump is going to close the border and the war in Ukraine and the war in Gaza and fix the economy before he even gets back to the White House to get started in earnest. It's absolutely remarkable, isn't it? Democrats, shut up. At this pace, Donald.
I love that. Trump's on his way to creating peace in the Middle East, ending the Ukraine war, fixing our economy, and the list, closing our border. The list goes on. Yeah, it's going to happen this time, folks. Now, folks, so let me tell you a story about when I went to CPAC first time. It was in Dallas right after I first started my podcast channel in 2021. Got to see Matt Gaetz there and met many people, many politicians there. It was really a neat event. But one of the people that was there was a guy named Robbie Starbucks, and I had no clue who Robbie Starbucks was at the time. Some of you may not know who he is now. But he's a politician out of California. He was actually running for, I think, a Senate seat in California for the state Senate there. But he's a Republican. I said, me and a guy named Vlad, another podcaster, was eating lunch at the Starbucks there in the Anarto in Dallas, where CPAC was right outside the CPAC event. And we ended up in line with Robbie Starbucks and talking to him a few minutes. Ended up sitting across from him and his wife while we were eating. And he basically said, "Come check out my channel," and give us his whole spiel. And I didn't really think much about it after that. Well, since then, I've heard his name maybe a half a dozen times on different channels, podcasters, especially like Benny Johnson, bringing him up because Robbie Starbucks is now known for going after these DEI organizations like Walmart, who's in the news today, um, to expose them for being for their crazy DEI policies, putting the pressure on them by serving them notices that say, "I'm fixing to expose you to the world that about your company policies." And he's actually got several companies like John Deere and Tractor Supply, Walmart to dial it back, to kick the DEI out of the curb, to apologize, change their ways. It's kind of the whole Dylan Mulvaney effect in reverse. They go too woke. This Robbie Starbucks uh, gets on them like a duck on a June bug. Next thing you know, they're changing their ways. Now, I have actually the list. If you stick around to the end of this video, I actually have the list. Well, let me just go ahead and show you now. Here's the list of all the places that Robbie Starbucks has went after and actually successfully got the DEI out of their stuff. Like he says, "I need a new Grim Reaper meme with all the companies. We run out of doors. Here's the Grim Reaper meme. Tractor Supply, John Deere, Harley Davidson, Jack Daniels." Now, this is the entire list of, in just the last couple of years, him being a warrior for the anti-DEI movement. Walmart, Tractor Supply, John Deere, Harley Davidson, Indian Motorcycles, Lowe's, Ford, Coors, Jack Daniels, Caterpillar, Boeing, Toyota, Stanley Black and Decker, Craftsman, and DeWalt Tools, which a couple of those are the same company. We're talking 15 plus companies that he's got them to change their ways. Bravo, guy. Just want to let everybody know, if you don't know who Robbie Starbucks is, just for his effort alone in trying to save the kids and fight this DEI crap in our businesses and being forced in our faces. If you're on Twitter or YouTube, go give the guy a follow. He deserves that much at least. Robbie Starbucks, easy to find. The list is over here on my channel as well. Now, I do have a Matt Gaetz clips I'm going to bring to y'all. It'll be the last one of the day, but first we're going to go to the Walmart article here. And Walmart is actually changing their ways. They broke it down as to all the different things they're going to do about their hiring process, about their training processes, about how they present their company model. And here we have massive news. Walmart is ending their whole woke policies. Let's watch Robbie Starbucks. Here we go.
All right, y'all, I don't even know how to start this video because honestly, this is different than everything else we've done because this is the single largest employer in the United States. We are talking about a company that is worth almost $1 trillion on its own. As many of you know, I have been investigating a massive company now for a while, and I have kept my lips sealed on who it was. Now I can reveal it was Walmart, but something incredible happened in the course of my investigation. Walmart became aware of our investigation and reached out to me. This was critical and honestly turned out pretty fantastic for everybody involved, in my opinion. We were able to have frank conversations with Walmart. And as I've said for a long time, I don't ask companies to take on my political views. I am simply advocating for corporate neutrality. I believe that that is the future because I understand there are people in this country who do not agree with my politics. So it would not be fair of me to force my politics on them the same way that I am not okay with left-wing policies being forced on me and people like me via things like DEI. After various conversations, I am very proud to report to you guys that Walmart has decided on making some changes. I'm going to lay out what those changes are for you and explain how massive this is for our movement. We are unstoppable at this point with a 100% flip rate where we change corporate America and get them back to a culture of sanity and neutrality. Bullet point number 1, Walmart will be removing all inappropriate sexual and or transgender products that are marketed toward kids, things like chest binders for teenagers or books that encourage transitioning. That is all going to be gone. Bullet point number 2, Walmart is going to review and stop funding to all events that could be sexually inappropriate for kids. That includes drag queen story time or pride events that expose kids to sexually inappropriate topics. That's all going to stop going forward. Third bullet point, Walmart will be closing their racial equity center. This is a center they had committed $100 million to, and it was a 5-year project. They will be closing that center going forward. Fourth bullet point, Walmart will no longer participate in the HRC's Corporate Equality Index social credit system. This scoring system is what has brought wokeness into so many segments of corporate America, and we are happy to see them no longer participating. There is not a corporation in America that should be participating with the HRC's CEI scoring system going forward. The HRC got explicitly political in the 2024 election, working with everything they have to defeat Donald Trump and calling him every name in the book. It is time for companies to recognize that they need to move away from this system that is explicitly political and embrace corporate neutrality so that everybody is welcome in their stores. Fifth bullet point, Walmart is going to be reviewing their supplier diversity programs to ensure that nobody's receiving preferential treatment on the basis of race, and they will also ensure that financing eligibility will no longer be predicated on providing certain demographic information. Sixth bullet point, and this is a favorite for me, being Latino myself, Walmart will no longer be using the term Latinx in any of their official communications. That is going to be wiped away. I was very disappointed to see it was there, but again, this is across corporate America. So this is a company, Walmart, who is doing the right thing here, and I want to give them credit for that. Getting rid of this, big. We don't want to hear Latinx ever again. Bullet point number 7, Walmart will be discontinuing their racial equity training through the Racial Equity Institute. Again, getting rid of woke trainings. And last but not least, drumroll please for the big one, DEI. They will be discontinuing use of DEI both publicly and privately at Walmart. This is a massive win for our movement. The momentum just keeps growing. This is the largest employer in the United States, worth almost $1 trillion. Other companies are taking notice. Suppliers of Walmart are taking notice now. With Christmas right around the corner, I'm happy I could deliver you guys one retailer that will drop the woke policies. You've still got Amazon and Target acting crazy out there with wokeness, so I'm glad I could give you guys one at least. And yes, we do have our eyes on Amazon and Target.
Awesome. I love this guy. I think he's a warrior. He's doing great things. We need somebody to go after all these things, just like we need Scott Presslers to help get out the vote. We need Robbie Starbucks to help beat this DEI back. And as a matter of fact, DEI is fixing to die, as far as I'm concerned. Between Trump coming back and kicking it out of the military, between businesses realizing it is not a good financial move, and the Democrat Party not running every agency from this point forward, going to make a huge, huge difference in how little DEI we actually have to deal with anymore. We may not have to look at rainbow flags 6 months a year. We'll see. Now, I had one more clip for you folks I was going to bring to y'all today. I know this is getting kind of long, but I said I'd bring this one to you yesterday. This is Matt Gaetz describing what happened involving Trump's case. But more than that, since then, the case was dismissed yesterday by Jack Smith, and today Eileen Cannon, the other judge, has actually dropped the case. It's been dropped altogether, so the motion has actually been granted, and all Trump's federal cases are gone. They could try to bring them up in 4 years if they wanted to, but at the moment, they're gone.
Congrats to President Trump for being 100% not guilty, but I want all Americans to remember this. If we had somehow not prevailed in this election, Jack Smith would not be dismissing these charges. He would be proceeding to trial. And though this monumental victory was won for all Americans led by President Trump, we have to remember, just like we came within fractions of fractions from civil war when President Trump survived an assassination attempt, we also were just fractions away from these people trying to throw Donald Trump in prison. So while all of us are grateful for this victory, for Trump, it was victory or prison, because he wasn't going to get a fair trial. It was going to be some knockdown, drag-out deal with a predetermined outcome. So enjoy the victory, President Trump, but the rest of us have to do all we can to ensure that no one is ever put in this type of a situation again, and we make America great again.
I love it. I love it. On that note, folks, I'll leave it with you. Hopefully, everybody had a great day. Hopefully, everybody is going to have a good long weekend, enjoying a little turkey and dressing and all the good things that go with gobble, gobble, gobble day. Hopefully, you will have opportunity to be blessed and bless someone as well. And hopefully, spend some time with some friends and family. No arguing with the family about politics. We won. They know it. Let them make it. I don't know. Depends on the family member. But truth be known, I'm going to enjoy my time off here with my wife here at the house, and probably just going to enjoy the peace and quiet and the time off from work for a few days. Hopefully, some of y'all will get to do the same. See you about this time tomorrow. Over and out.